for hockey in Winnipeg. The Wild and the Jets. A very important Central Division matchup for both clubs. Our Northland Ford starting goaltenders.
Well, Darcy Kemper off that food poisoning gets a start here, and they want to see his game elevate. Michael Hutchinson, this is his third start in a row. They had been alternating, but he got a start before Christmas, and he started both of these games now post-holiday. And so the Wild need to find a way to solve him. He has the best numbers in the National Hockey League right now. Just under a 94 save percentage for him, and a 1.77 goals against average. Wild need to get some traffic in front of that southpaw. They had some good opportunities last game, just didn't connect on enough of them.
First time he started 3 in a row all year. It's only the second time that he had started consecutive games. He had done it once back in November. Wheeler banks it off the boards to the Minnesota line. Suter whips it across for Spurgeon. Suter and Spurgeon paired together as the top set for Minnesota on the back end. Jonas Brodin back at home, not with the club here in Winnipeg. Jets come to center with Wheeler, knocked away by Spurgeon. Ladd has it. His entry pass hit Wheeler. Wheeler works his way to the middle, and it's poke checked away neatly by Spurgeon on the play. Harrison across to Klitzum and ahead for Scheifele out of his reach. Wild turn it back. Coyle for Vanek, a drive right on, and a save by Hutchinson. Minnesota's second line tonight, Charlie Coyle, playing between Nino Niederreiter and Thomas Vanek.
And Vanek needs to do that right there. That kind of shot, granted, it may not score very often, but it gets you an offensive zone faceoff at the very least. But it also gives your line mates an idea of what you're going to do with the puck. And because they've moved lines around, everyone has to simplify their game. Get pucks to the net, drive there for rebounds. That's what the Wild have to do on this unhospitable building.
Folin holds his own for Minnesota and sent it just wide. Flips him over to pick it up. He's hit by Niederreiter. Frolik has it along the wall. Finds Perreault at center. His entry goes cross ice, and Marco Scandella is there to pick it up for Minnesota. Frolik tried to center. Scandella intercepts that. And the Wild come to center. Nino Niederreiter dumps it in from the red line. Minnesota will change. Harrison back to pick it up for Winnipeg. Harrison plays it around behind for Klitzum. Halachuk has it at center, but Prosser intercepts. Nate Prosser back in for Minnesota. He and Stu Bickle are the third defensive pairing. Battle at neutral ice, and Bickle has it for Minnesota across to Prosser, and Prosser rings it in. Fontaine lets it go by. Bickle along the wall, a shot that goes just wide. Prosser cannot hold the zone. It comes out to center ice. Prosser retreats there across to Bickle, and Bickle sends it right back in.
Well, that was Graybac's first NHL shift. He circled into the offensive zone a couple times. Didn't really get a lot of touches, but we'll keep an eye on him all game long. He does have plenty of skill along with that size.
Suter has it for Minnesota. Brodziak centering the fourth line. Sutter, who was also just recalled from Iowa on the right side. Ryan Carter, the left wing. Spurgeon absorbs a heavy hit just inside the Minnesota zone. And now Carter has it for the Wild. Flips it to the Winnipeg line. Spurgeon had a chance. He was tied up as he tried to cut to the middle. TJ Gagliardi is there to play it for the Jets. Gagliardi back in the lineup for Winnipeg tonight, replacing the injured Evander Kane, who took a puck off the skate in St. Paul Saturday night and is expected to be out for a month.
Yeah, when you talk about the Winnipeg Jets, you have to bring up the fact that they're also not the healthiest club around. They're missing 4 veteran defensemen, or actually not 4 veteran ones, but 3 veterans and one solid defender, a rookie in Trouba. But Evander Kane, as you just mentioned, he's out till February. That was slap shot on the outside of the skate, and he hobbled back to the bench, and that ended his night. So they are a team that has seen their share of injuries.
Icing here against the Jets, and the faceoff will come back down into the Winnipeg zone. Boy, what a job Paul Maurice has done here in Winnipeg.
Well, he came in January of last season, and he went 18-12-5 on the whole the remainder of the season, and he got this team thinking a certain way, just like Mike Gill is trying to do with this club as it continues to get deeper and deeper, trying to get them to play a certain brand of hockey that will be competitive every single night.
Right now, the Jets, one of the hottest teams in hockey, 9-1-4, going back to late November. Over that stretch, only Chicago has a better winning percentage in the NHL. Mikko Koivu alone in the slot. A shot saved by Hutchinson. Pominville plays it in behind for Parise. Leaves for Pominville. Pominville to Koivu for a one-timer. He didn't get all of it. Good pressure by Minnesota early. Pominville taps it off the boards for Suter. Back down low. Koivu has his man tied up. Sherrod is shoved into the wall by Parise. Around to the near side. Ladd is there for the Jets. Pominville pesters him. Little able to relay it out to center. Good shift for Minnesota's newly formed top line with Mikko Koivu between Parise and Pominville. Kemper leaves it behind his net for Folin. Scandella to Vanek at center. Niederreiter for Coyle. They're onside, but Coyle couldn't handle the puck cleanly. Perreault bumped by Niederreiter as he got it ahead for Scheifele. Wild intercepted center, and Scandella fires it in for Minnesota. Harrison along the boards takes a hit from Vanek. They both go down in the corner. The Jets come away with the puck. Prosser able to hold for Minnesota, but now Klitzum got it to Frolik, who tips it to the Minnesota line. Niederreiter hustling back defensively for the Wild. Bickle has it there for Minnesota. Long lead pass, sends Fontaine in. A shot saved by Hutchinson.
2 point-blank shots already in this game for the Wild. One off of Koivu's stick and that one off Fontaine's. And Hutchinson just shrugged them both off.
Scheifele has it deflect up and out of play. First 5 shots on goal in this game have come for Minnesota.
That's a good sign that the Wild are getting pucks to the net. And a couple of good opportunities early. Watch this, a play right into the offensive zone. Koivu just picks it up off a little bit of a misplay defensively and gets a good point-blank shot from right in between the hash marks. Same thing for Fontaine. You see the challenge by Hutchinson? Got to find a way to get the puck by him, but he is a confident goaltender right now and he's squaring up to everything. Made 2 very good saves there, but the Wild still have 5 shots here for a good start to this game.
Ryan Suter back for Minnesota. His exit pass deflected by a linesman, so icing waved off. Postma back to pick it up across to Party. Party takes a hit from Sutter, and now it's Postma carrying to center ice. Spurgeon turns it back at the Minnesota line. Party fires it in. Suter able to settle it down in the corner for Minnesota. He collided with one of the officials. Carter has it for the Wild, lost it at the Winnipeg bench, and Wheeler plays it back into his own zone. Dustin Byfuglien red hot on the blue line for Winnipeg. 12 points in his last 12 games. Graovac takes it away from Minnesota. Got it ahead to Matt Cook, and he's offside as he tried to settle a bouncing puck.
Well, Matt Cook bumping into Byfuglien there, and Bufflin's going to be bumping into a lot of people. He obviously was moved back to that blue line when they ran into their defense injuries, and actually Dustin Byfuglien wants to play on the blue line. That's where he feels more comfortable. He can still provide offense from back there, but he had played up and forward for plenty of time. They wanted his size on the forecheck, and because they were pretty deep on the blue line, they were able to do that. But now he's needed back on the blue line for his team, and he's done a pretty good job back there.
Head coach Paul Maurice hinted today that even when those players return, it's likely that Byfuglien will remain on the back end. Folin around to Scandella. Matt Cook takes a hit along the wall from Klitzum, and the loose puck finally knocked out to center. Fontaine trying to win a race. Harrison gets there first. Klitzum relays to Frolik at center. He's tied up by Koivu in the neutral zone, forced to play it back in his own zone. Jay Harrison carries forward for the Jets across to Frolik. Frolik into the Minnesota zone. Suter blocked it, and then Spurgeon had Perreault tied up. He couldn't get a shot away. Pominville back the other way, finds Suter. Suter into the Winnipeg zone, drops to Koivu, a shot, and that was blocked. Winds up in behind the net. Parise plays it off the boards. Spurgeon winds, fires, and it was deflected wide. Parise battles along the far boards. Sherrod got there first and gets it across to Frolik, who comes to center. Frolik chips it past Spurgeon and heads off on a change. Koivu back to pick it up for Minnesota. Suter to Spurgeon. His pass handcuffed Niederreiter, and it's deflected back in by the Jets. Out to the point, Sherrod waiting for support at the line. He took a hit from Coyle. Ladd hustles over. Vanek has it for Minnesota. Taps to Niederreiter, who comes to center with speed. Niederreiter into the Winnipeg zone. A shot knocked down by Hutchinson. Minnesota creating chances in transition here early. Little hits the Minnesota line. Across to Harrison, a shot, and it deflects over the top of the goal. Out to the point, Klitzum holds for Winnipeg. Klitzum works to the middle, a shot save, Kemper. He had a good sight of that one through traffic. Niederreiter along the far boards. Now it's Charlie Coyle for Minnesota to Folin. Folin drops it back, and Scandella to Vanek, who tips it in. First shot on goal for the Jets comes 7.5 minutes in.
The Wild have had the puck most of the time, and that's why. Some good line rushes, getting the puck in deep, and making some smart plays through the neutral zone. That's been a good trend here so far in this first period for the Wild.
Thorburn drifted in early, and it's offside against the Jets. Scoreless early in Winnipeg.
Welcome back to Winnipeg. No score early on between the Jets and the Wild. Had a conversation with Jared Spurgeon, Minnesota defenseman, about playing against a team that's as aggressive as the Jets are in the forecheck. He said no doubt about it. They've got great speed up front. They like to play a real physical brand of hockey. He said he's learned a lot from playing with Ryan Suter, how to take a hit, how to make a quick decision with the puck, and he said how to bait them into maybe over pursuing and getting an odd number rush because of it. From talking to Rick Wilson about Jared Spurgeon, he said this is a young player that just knows how to play the game. Certainly small in stature, but plays a heady game and makes those quick decisions. And along with Ryan Suter, with Brodin out of the lineup, guys, they're going to see a ton of ice time tonight.
Yeah, and and I talked to Mike Gill this morning about that, and he said that defensemen have to know that they're going to take a hit. They're going to have to take a few, but they cannot pull up on their pursuit of the puck in their own zone just because they know they're going to get hit. That would give a signal to the Jets that what they're doing is working.
Party battling with Scandella. Thorburn has it knocked away by Graovac. Into the corner. Lowry got it to Halachuk. Halachuk banks it off the boards out to the point. Postma holds. Lowry has it down low. Bumped by Scandella. Lowry hands it off to Thorburn. Thorburn tried to chip it back in. Graovac had it for a moment, but Halachuk takes it away. Now Scandella got it ahead. Not out of the zone, but Graovac finally dumps it out to neutral ice. Party pressured by Fontaine as the Wild make a change. Postma able to work his way around Parise, but then lost the puck. Spurgeon across to Suter. Long lead pass sends Parise in. Parise stops just inside the line. Pominville, a shot, save, rebound. And Koivu was tied up by Little. Didn't get all of it on the shot. Koivu's been very active early for Minnesota.
Once again, Wild firing the puck from all angles, and it created another chance in front. That line is getting some good looks so far in this game.
Wheeler knocked off the puck by Spurgeon. Despite a significant size disadvantage, Spurgeon able to separate the big winger from the puck. Spurgeon ahead to Parise. Parise across to Pominville. Spurgeon joining the rush for Minnesota. Pominville's in. Fanned on a pass. Now gets it to Parise. Parise works his way into the corner. Trying to center for Brodziak. Pominville hit the side of the net. Parise tries to center. Now Pominville in behind. Parise a backhander. And that rolls right through the crease. Ladd flips it softly out to neutral ice. Full and across to Scandella. And the Wild regroup and are right back in. Carter unable to tip this one, so it'll be icing against Minnesota, just 4 seconds short of the halfway point of the first period.
One thing you want to see is great puck pursuit, and the Wild are showing that here in this first period, especially this line here. You're going to have guys like Parise and Pominville with a lot of jump. Koivu has had a few good looks already in this game, right from in the slot. That one he just could not get a handle on as it bounced off the equipment of Hutchinson, but I love the look so far of this line with the way that they're jumping on loose pucks and getting pucks to the net so far in this hockey game.
Brodziak wins the draw. Scandella plays it to Folin. Folin's pass deflected by Carter. Postma back to play it. He avoids Sutter and carries out. Flips it to neutral ice. Scheifele relays it there. Brodziak quickly on it for Minnesota. Folin back in his own zone for Scandella. Ahead to Sutter at neutral. Sutter was tied up by Party. And now Folin has it for Minnesota. Carter in for the Wild. Carter bumped off the puck by Party. Still manages to poke it out front of the net. It winds up fluttering off the end boards, and Scheifele has it there. Scheifele trying to escape Charlie Coyle. Pushes it ahead for Perreault. And back to Scheifele, who dumps it in. Folan will go back to pick it up for Minnesota. The rookie defenseman starts ahead for the Wild. Folan lost the handle on it. Managed to protect the puck and avoid a 2-on-1 the other way. Vanek dumped inside the Winnipeg line, and a penalty coming against Harrison. Minnesota will go on the game's first power play. Thomas Vanek draws a penalty, and the Wild get a chance to break the tie next.
No score in this one as the Wild get a power play because of that man right there. And when you elevate your game, you do some of the smaller things. Watch how he just starts moving his feet immediately to try and get into the offensive zone. He forces a player to trip him. In this case, Harrison. But I like Vanek's game lately. He's starting to show some signs of moving his feet like there and shooting the puck. Hopefully he can be a big part of this power play, which he is up now on that top unit.
He is, because of the Mikael Granlund out of the lineup tonight for Minnesota. Mike Yeo forced to shuffle just a bit. Charlie Coyle will be the center on the second power play unit. Vanek drops it back to Suter. His shot got through. Suter overskates the rebound, and the Jets have a chance to clear. And a penalty coming against Koivu. Penalty coming against Koivu, as they'll say he holds Gagliardi on this play, trying to recover the puck back in the Minnesota zone.
Well, you know what? As much as one player moves his feet, you're going to take a penalty if you don't move yours. And I think Koivu, he got in a good position, but he just kind of water skis on him. Watch Suter. He gets this puck that goes under his stick, and he tries to get back into the play. Now Koivu dumps in, and here's where he gets his elbow in on the crook of his hip. And that's why he got the penalty, to stop skating. Kind of rode him all the way down the middle of the ice.
So the power play comes to an early end, and it's 4-on-4 hockey here in Winnipeg. Spurgeon for Minnesota. Niederreiter and Coyle up front for the Wild. Spurgeon and Suter on defense. Spurgeon carries into the Winnipeg zone. Jets won the game in St. Paul in overtime. Obviously, it was 4-on-4 hockey at that time. Ladd scored the winner for the Jets. Frolik to Scheifele. Into the middle. His shot blocked by Suter. Niederreiter carries back for Minnesota. Niederreiter into the Winnipeg zone. His shot goes off the glass, and Karams all the way back out to center. Ryan Suter with it in his own zone for Minnesota. Ahead to Zach Parise. Into the Winnipeg zone. Parise drops to Pominville. Pominville trying to work his way around Little. He lost the puck, and here comes Ladd. Ladd for the Jets into the Minnesota zone. Fires, pad save, rebound. Little didn't get all of it. And then Kemper makes a pad save on Postma on the second rebound chance for the Jets.
Heads up play there by Ladd. He fired that one off the inside pad, knowing that the kind of rebound would create bedlam in front of the net, and that's almost what it did as the Wild get into the zone, but it gets turned back over. And look at this shot. He's not having any thoughts that that might go in. He's just trying to create a follow-up play. This snapshot off the pad, right out in front. Exactly the design that he had, and they fanned on it a couple times. Kemper made a couple of good, quick little saves there.
Mike Yeo tried to get Kyle Brodziak on the ice to take this face-off. There's not a true centerman on the ice for Minnesota. Parise will be forced to draw against Ladd. Ladd wins it back to the point. Byfuglien winds and fires. That was deflected by Pominville. Folan to the line, but not out. Klitzen across to Byfuglien. Byfuglien's in. His shot blocked by Folan. Byfuglien still with it down low. He's taken down behind the net. Winnipeg fans wanted a penalty, but nothing coming as Little goes back to retrieve a puck in his own zone. Jets now on the power play. A half a minute remaining in the Koivu minor penalty. Wheeler along the boards. Into the corner, Little. Around to the point for Byfuglien. Byfuglien holds for the Jets. Back in. Little has it in the corner. He's watched by Spurgeon. Out to the point for Byfuglien. Pressured by Brodziak. Wheeler trying to leap to play the puck. He couldn't, but Suter fanned on a clearing attempt. Down to 5 seconds left in the Winnipeg power play. Byfuglien holds the zone for the Jets to Klitzen. Byfuglien setting up in the middle. He fires. It's deflected. Glove save, Kemper. Koivu's back on. The Wild are at full strength. A big stop for Kemper on a deflected shot. And the Wild able to clear. Ladd brings it in for the Jets. Gives to Scheifele. Scheifele forced to the outside by Spurgeon. Centers for Wheeler. Penalty coming against Minnesota. Wheeler's shot went wide, but he was hooked on the play. Harrison gives to Scheifele along the boards. He spins away from Coyle. Trying to center. Spurgeon got a piece of it. Scheifele back to the point for Harrison. Delayed penalty coming against Minnesota. Ladd to Harrison. Harrison gives to Party. Suter trying to pressure, and he finally gains the puck. And we get the whistle and the call that will put the Jets on the power play. Minnesota got off to a great start. Could not score. They're a man short next. Our great clips around the league. We flash back to Saturday night in St. Paul. The Jets over the Wild in bizarre fashion. Andrew Ladd flips one off the glass, off the top of the net, and off the back of goaltender John Curry for the winner.
Yeah, that's the only time a goaltender wants to actually get out of the way of a puck. That time, he unfortunately got full contact, and it rolled back into the net for the OT winner. But it takes all kinds, and the Wild just couldn't get the extra point in that game.
Niederreiter goes for Minnesota, hooking the call. The Jets on their second power play, and Little with a good quick shot. Kemper right there to make the stop. Their first power play was just over a half-minute in length. It's a power play group that's been getting better lately. 1 for 10 in their last 4 games, but that comes after a 5-game stretch during which they scored 7 power play goals.
Yeah, and expect Byfuglien to be heating up that puck. Wild have to be very conscious of that offensive style defenseman who can also play forward when he has to. And that's why he's got that mind for getting the puck to the net. Good setup there by Byfuglien, and Little jammed one at the net. Kemper made a very good point-blank save.
Big shorthanded face-off win for Mikko Koivu allows the Wild to clear. Minnesota on the penalty kill. Been solid all season, 87%, 4th best in the NHL. Wheeler with speed into the Minnesota zone. Cut off by Scandella, around for Little. Back to the point, Byfuglien gives to Little. Little works in, looking for a deflection. It winds up in the corner. Perreault there. Out to the point for Byfuglien, and now across to Little. Back to Byfuglien. Byfuglien gives to Perreault. Byfuglien winds and fires. He didn't get all of it. Carter deflects it. Scandella ducks underneath the Wheeler check, but could not clear. Ladd able to hold. Wheeler around to the boards for Little. Little watched by Prosser. Gives back to Wheeler. His centering pass disrupted by Scandella. And now out to the point, Byfuglien. Able to hold the zone before Carter could clear. Wheeler in the corner. Blake Wheeler, the former Gopher, out to the point for Perreault. Now Byfuglien a drive. That goes off the glass. 45 left in the power play. Scandella delivers a hit, but Wild unable to gain control of the puck. Little to the point for Byfuglien. Plays it across. Perreault back to Byfuglien for a shot. That's wide. Perreault holds the zone for the Jets. In behind for Wheeler. Little with it. To the point, Byfuglien. Great zone control for Winnipeg on the power play. Little on the rebound. His shot deflected by Wheeler, who then tries to sneak one in, but Kemper had his skate up against the post to deny the big winger.
Well, a few of those shots are missing the net, but they can pop out pretty quickly off that end wall, and this is what created the opportunity in front of the net. But once again, watch this shot as it misses the net, but then following up is Little, who just got it back towards the net. And Wheeler tried to sneak one off the pad of Darcy Kemper, and Kemper said, "I've seen that trick. I saw it in overtime last game against Curry."
Frolik lifts the stick of Suter, comes away with the puck. Suter trying to get his stick. He can't do it, and Frolik scores.
Well, this is just a good individual effort by Frolik. He walks around the face-off dot, and he just fires one home.
Watch Suter trying to recover his stick on the play.
Yeah, and that's why Frolik was so loose on this one. But nevertheless, Kemper should have had that angle, but I'm wondering if it had hit anybody. It might have deflected off someone in front, because it's a pretty tough angle to beat a goaltender cleanly on, and looked like it bounced around a little bit.
Pominville in for Minnesota, but whistled down offside. Sherrod gets right in his face, and then Pominville takes a wicked jab from Byfuglien. Minnesota should get a power play out of this.
Well, it looked like Sherrod gave him a little bit of a headbutt. Not anything egregious, but kind of bopped him, and then Byfuglien came in to finish the job with a late hit. And this is the Mike Yeo talked about the Wild answering the bell in certain ways physically. And watch this right here. There's a push. There comes a push back. Watch this. Little bit of a headbutt right there by Sherrod. I don't know. It wasn't that hard, but it's still the idea of it. And then Byfuglien came in and cleaned up. But this is what Mike Yeo talked about. He doesn't want this after the whistle scrum because it doesn't benefit the Wild in any way. But he does want them answering the bell physically. So we'll see how this gets cleaned up.
Mikko Koivu questioning perhaps why Sherratt was not given a penalty on the play as well. Sherratt headbutted Pominville after the two had exchanged jabs. Faceoff will come outside the zone. Minnesota goes on the power play for the second time. Harrison has it deflect up and out of play.
Wild are asking if that sailed out under its own power, in which case it would be a delay of game, and the referees are converging to talk about it. And I think they're going to get a penalty for delay of game, unless they're just trying to find a more private area to speak. They started to head towards the box, and I think they just wanted to get out of the earshot of the players and see. And yeah, it looks like they are going to give them a penalty for delay of game here. And Mikko Koivu was very adamant about it.
So it'll be a 5-on-3 for the Wild for 1 minute and 54 seconds.
Watch this. It's a backhander, and it just kind of floats on him. It's not touched by either Koivu or it looked like Parise on the boards there, and it just floats and goes over into the stands. And so Harrison, another penalty in this game, one for tripping and this one for delay of game, and the Wild with a great advantage to tie this game up.
Nearly 2 full minutes of 5-on-3 time for Minnesota. Parise chips it to the point, but it's intercepted by Little and clear. And the Wild will have to go the length of the ice to get it started. Suter and Pominville on the points. Koivu, Vanek, Parise up front for Minnesota. Pominville to Parise into the Winnipeg zone. Parise sets up along the wall to Vanek. A shot save. Koivu stopped on the rebound. Suter to Parise, but it was tipped by Little. And Little able to carry to center. He lost control of the puck. Koivu recovers for Minnesota. Great chances for the Wild early on this 5-on-3. Parise gives to Suter. Suter looking for a lane. Back to Parise. Gives to Suter. Koivu setting up out front. Suter to Vanek. Vanek down low. Centers. Parise, a shot saved by Hutchinson. And he covers.
Well, this is where your goaltender can make the difference in a hockey game for you. And Hutchinson made 2 or 3 saves in that sequence that really are a highlight. Wild blasting away on some good chances with that 2 extra men. Parise, good setup here, backdoor Vanek, and then another pad save off of Koivu. Koivu's had about 4 in the slot there and has not been able to bury them, but the last one, of course, another nice pass. Keep an eye on Parise on the near side here, because he tries to go right upstairs as he gets it and gets rid of it quickly. Hutchinson's reading these plays very nicely.
Mike Yeo has taken his time out with 1 minute 3 left in the 2-man advantage. He wants to keep these 5 skaters on the ice. Even though it's the first period, this is a very important moment in this game.
Yeah, you don't get too many 5-on-3s, and they really need to take advantage of it. And because of the fact that the penalties came so quickly together, the Wild have enjoyed a full 2-minute 5-on-3 power play pretty much, and they have a 1 minute 3 left on it.
Draw controlled by the Jets, and Party's able to clear. 2 huge clears for Winnipeg on this 5-on-3 power play for Minnesota. Parise in for the Wild. Drops it back to Suter. Suter works his way to the middle. Down low, Vanek. Vanek back to Suter. Suter backpedals, fires just wide. Puts him, plays it to the boards. Slater able to clear. Inside a half minute left in the 5-on-3. Suter brings it in. Cross ice pass. Kick to the corner by Parise. Hardy's there for the Jets. Banks it off the wall, but Suter holds. Suter works to the high slot. Down low, Vanek a shot. And it was kicked out by Hutchinson. Hardy pressured by Parise. Cleared but not out. Koivu winds, gives to Pominville. His shot goes wide. Byfuglien's back on for the Jets, and he has a lone shorthanded breakaway. Byfuglien in, kick save, Kemper.
Well, Dustin Byfuglien had a full 2 minutes rest, and he jumped out of that box and had a head of steam on a breakaway, and he got a good shot off. Good save by Kemper, but my goodness, Hutchinson is stealing this game right now. The Wild had some glorious opportunities.
Niederreiter for Coyle, knocks it out of the air in behind. Back to 5-on-5. Fontaine fires, skate saved by Hutchinson. Scandella shot, that was blocked and never reached the net. Scandella wheels and fires, that hit the post. Niederreiter tied up by Sherrod. Scandella hustling back. He's hooked on the play by Wheeler.
He's going to get the penalty. I think that's going to go to Scandella for stepping in Wheeler's way.
Scandella will go for interference, and the Jets will go on the power play.
You could see that Wheeler had a lane, and because Scandella didn't have his full speed, he had to step in front of him.
Next is 2 minutes for interference.
And he took away Wheeler's opportunity to get to the puck. Watch this. He's kind of flat-footed as it bounces off the wall, and he just gets in Wheeler's way. So the Wild will have to kill a penalty. A lot of penalties here in this period, so I thought we'd see some 5-on-5 hockey. We've seen some 4-on-4, 5-on-3, a couple 5-on-4s as well, so plenty of different situations so far in this first period.
Cook draws against Scheifele. Jets control. Lowry to the point for Byfuglien. Gives to Perreault. Into the corner for Frolik, who has the game's only goal. Perreault, top of the circle, a shot. It's blocked. Perreault quickly on it. Plays in behind for Scheifele. Scheifele trying to escape Spurgeon. Hands it off to Perreault. Perreault to the point for Byfuglien. Now Scheifele. Scheifele's pass hits Spurgeon. Out to the point for Byfuglien. Back to Scheifele. 9 points in the last 7 for Scheifele. To Byfuglien. His shot blocked by Brodziak. And it deflects all the way back into the Winnipeg zone. 15 seconds left in the period as Byfuglien races in. Byfuglien around Folin. Centered! And Frolik was tied up by Sutter. Scheifele holds. Byfuglien fires. Saved by Kemper. Folin able to clear for Minnesota. And that'll bring us to the end of a back-and-forth first period that sees the Wild outshoot them by a 2-1 margin, but the Jets have the only goal with Frolik on the power play.
Yeah, Hutchinson, the story so far in this game, because the Wild, with some of their power play, especially the 5-on-3, really jammed pucks at the net, got a lot of great scoring chances, but Frolik's goal is the only one that stands so far.
Our CenturyLink link to what's next. We'll be joined once again by our NHL insider, the Star Tribune's Michael Russo. Get his thoughts on the period and what's happening around the NHL. But up next, it'll be Kevin Gorg with Tyler Graovac, who's 20 minutes into his NHL career. Menards game reset. Michael Frolik with the game's only goal, his 8th of the season, coming on the power play. Vanek, Parise, and Koivu very active in the first period for Minnesota. That line, a big part of the Wild attack that saw Minnesota generate 14 shots on goal. Jets start the second on the power play. Wheeler carries through neutral ice. Dumps it in around Suter. Spurgeon's the first man on the puck, but could not clear. Perreault plays to the corner. Now Wheeler back to Perreault. They score. 20 seconds into the period on the power play. The Jets extend the lead.
Well, nothing Kemper could do on that one, backdoor play, and it was on nice fresh ice. A lot of quick passing. And Perreault, who just came off of a league-leading 8-game point streak, gets another one going here on a quick little feed that he just slips under the defense. Nice play by Wheeler there as he gets everybody looking at him. And Perreault just kind of sneaks down to the backside of the net and gets the Winnipeg Jets up 2-0.
Now the Wild need a response. They go to their top line. Koivu, Pominville, Parise. Scheifele racing after a loose puck. First man there is Folin. He plays it back in for Minnesota. Parise knocks it down, but Frolik intercepts and carries back for Winnipeg. Frolik into the Minnesota zone. His shot winds up well wide. Sherratt is there. Plays it in behind. Perreault tied up by Scandella. Got it to Frolik. His pass intended for Scheifele was tipped by Parise all the way down. Sherratt leaves it behind the net for Byfuglien. Byfuglien watched by Niederreiter. Plays it ahead. Tipped by Halachuk. And now Coyle's back in for Minnesota. Coyle jumps around Sherratt. Plays it in behind for Vanek. Vanek trying to center. Niederreiter is tied up there. Still no whistle as they battle for the puck at the side of the Winnipeg goal. And Thorburn nose to nose with Niederreiter after the whistle.
Well, just giving him, and then that's what you're going to see a lot out of Winnipeg. A lot of extracurricular shots and cross checks and slashes and punches. They want to goad the Wild into taking some more penalties. They have 2 power play goals in this game, and right now that's a good game plan for them. The Wild are out shooting them, but just the power play has been the difference for the Winnipeg Jets.
Draw controlled by Winnipeg. Blitzum has it. Wheeler across to Harrison. Harrison races into the Minnesota zone, and his shot deflects up and into the netting out of play. Our Toyota Key Stat shows you just how tight things have been between these teams. Over the last 2 seasons, they've played 7 times. 6 of the 7 decided by 1 goal. The only exception was a game here last year where Winnipeg scored an empty netter with 4 seconds left to create a 2-goal margin. And look at how even the goals and the shots have been.
Well, it's building up to be a good rivalry, and divisional rival is obviously something that'll create some of that, but just the way these 2 teams seem to play, it's always physical, and definitely 2 hockey-centric fan bases, which really adds to the excitement in either one of these buildings.
Cook draws for Minnesota against Slater. Slater pulls it back. The shot by Clifton well wide. Graovac pressuring at center. Cook delivers a hit on Gagliardi. And Harrison goes back to pick it up. Spurgeon across to Suter and back to Spurgeon. Cook deflects it into the Winnipeg zone. Blitzum back after it. Gagliardi plays it ahead. Cook intercepts at center. Back to Prosser. And Prosser across to Suter. Minnesota in the midst of a change. Fontaine tries to get the puck down low. He collides with Graovac. And the Jets are back the other way. Gagliardi winds and fires. Bad save by Kemper. Long rebound scooped up by Parise. Parise winds, fires, and it's just wide. Pominville let it go by for Koivu, but Koivu was unable to hold the zone. And Bickle has to come all the way back after it for Minnesota. Koivu led the Wild with 5 shot attempts in the first period. Byfuglien had a game-high 7. Byfuglien tries to get it past Koivu up the boards. Pominville able to keep it alive for Minnesota. Sherratt spins away from Parise. And now it's Wheeler with it. Wheeler across for Little. Little into the Minnesota zone. Forced outside. Gets it back to Wheeler. He tried to center it. Prosser went down to break it up. Parise tried to chip it past Byfuglien. Couldn't do it. Byfuglien circles the net. The wraparound try and a save by Kemper. Good pressure by the Jets. Scheifele to Sherratt. His shot was blocked out front. Prosser banks it ahead. He was trying to spring Parisi. Good stick by Byfuglien to break it up. Pominville taps to Koivu. Koivu will play it back safely into his own zone. Bickle turns it over. Put it right on the stick of Perreault. Scheifele's shot blocked by Bickle. Bickle then banks it ahead, and Sutter has it for Minnesota. Sutter dumps it into the Winnipeg zone. Carter just off the bench. Got it to Sutter. Sutter back in. Carter up the boards for Scandella. He's hit by Frolik. Hardy comes away with the puck for Winnipeg. Poland delivers a hit. Brodziak holds. Didn't get all of it on the shot. Now Sutter wheels and fires. It was tipped by Carter. Played with a high stick. And as Carter touches the puck, well, the Jets play it first, and that negates the high stick. Carter's in. He scores! What a break for Minnesota! Hardy, for some reason, taps the puck for Winnipeg. Negates a high stick, and Carter has Minnesota on the board.
Well, if you have that kind of time, you think he would play the puck a lot better than he did. All he did was tap it forward, and that gave the Wild an opportunity to play the puck itself. I'm very surprised, not only, as you said, that he touched it, but that in the way he played it. Did not play it very confidently, and it really gave the Wild the opportunity they're waiting for. Watch here. They wait, and then it's touched, and then down low to Carter. A nice little passing play by this line that got in the zone initially by forechecking and hitting.
Carter's first goal since November the 13th. Over his last 13 games, he had just 1 point on 1 assist. Big goal here for the Wild. Thorburn has the puck wrestled away by Folin. Good physical play by the Minnesota defenseman. Wild have cut the Jets' lead in half. It's Winnipeg by 1. Folin with it for Minnesota. Banked it off the glass. Vanek was in check at center, and Klitzen backpedals in his own zone for Winnipeg. Turned it over, put it on the stick of Scandella, and Folin's back for Minnesota. He had Charlie Coyle in behind the Winnipeg defense. Coyle couldn't handle the pass cleanly. Lowry with Peluso. His shot kicked out by Kemper. Dangerous rebound in the high slot. Finally cleared away by the Wild. Postma back for Winnipeg. Pressured by Cook. Rayovac tries to hold the zone. The Jets finally clear. And we're going to whistle on a faceoff back in the Winnipeg zone.
Let's take a look at the goal again for the Wild, and here's how it all played out. Postma standing there waiting, and what I'm surprised at that he didn't play it a little bit smarter than that. He ends up banking it off a skate, and that's what gave the Wild the opportunity to go down low to Carter, who was actually initially right up there. It was high-sticked, and he just had more patience, I guess.
Big hit by Cook behind the play. Cook talked today about trying to establish the physical play for Minnesota with this line. He jabs with Postma. Spurgeon to Grayovac. Grayovac flipped the backhander over the top of the goal.
Oh, he just lost his angle a little bit there. If he was able to spin a bit more, he'd have been able to put that one over top of Hutchinson. Just could not get his body turned around enough.
Little indication of his hands. Great hands on that play to create a scoring chance. 24 points this year with the Iowa Wild. After last year, he had just 25 in a full season in the minor leagues. 25 points in 64 games. This year, 24 in just 31 starts.
Well, he has the offensive abilities, and right here gets a good feed. Nice move. But you just saw him get spun around just enough at the end of that play that he just couldn't get any leverage on that shot and get it on net.
Sutter and Brodziak credited with assists on that Carter goal for Minnesota. Sutter's second point in just 3 games with the Wild this year. Scandella plays it across to Folin. Folin ahead for Pominville. Pominville into the Winnipeg zone. Parisi in on the forecheck for Minnesota. Koivu trying to catch up with a puck along the boards. He does. Got it to Folin. Folin looking, then fires. And it's deflected by Wheeler. Up and out of play. Minnesota back in it after the goal by Ryan Carter. Thank you very much, Jamie. Nice win for Team USA today. Took them a while to get the offense going before rolling to that 3-0 win. Canada playing Finland tonight. The Canadians are leading the Finns. Here's a chance for Minnesota.
Oh boy, right off the faceoff, a miscue defensively, and Parise, he was almost in too tight there as the puck rolled in towards Hutchinson. That's only the second shot on goal for the Wild in this period. They'd scored on the only shot that they did have, one off of Carter's stick on that defensive miscue earlier on the high stick. But Parise is always ready to jump offensively, and right there had another look.
Jets gain control. They're 3-on-2 at center. Sherratt gives to Ladd. Back to Sherratt. He was tied up by Spurgeon on the play. Parise could not clear the zone. The puck hit the official skate twice on the play. Byfuglien fires right on. And a save by Kemper. Join Fox Sports North for Twins Fest January 23rd through the 25th inside Target Field. Enjoy games and interviews on the Fox Sports North stage. Meet players, get autographs and collectibles, take a clubhouse tour and more. Tickets are limited. All proceeds benefit the Twins Community Fund. Visit foxsportsnorth.com. Click on upcoming events on the Hot Topics bar for details. Brodziak on the draw for Minnesota. Thorburn will replace Lowry. Folin had a chance to clear, but it's held by Postman. Now Folin with another try. This time off the glass and all the way down. And it'll be icing against Minnesota. Faceoff will come back in the Wild zone.
Well, Sutter is well known for his physical side of the game, and asked Mike Yeo if they had to just mention to him that the late game is a time where you have to really be careful on your physical play. And Mike Yeo said, well, you know what, he's been physical, and he got a couple of bad breaks in the two previous games that he played for the Wild where he got a minor penalty in the last 5 minutes of each of those games. But I like his game. I like the way he finishes every single check, and I love his hustle.
Brodziak's in for Minnesota, and it's poked away by Party at the last moment. Halachuk carries to center for the Jets. Fires, pad save Kemper. Scandella spun around in the corner. Loose puck had Lowry with a chance for a moment, then taken away by Brodziak. Carter with Scandella breaking toward the net. Carter fires over the top of the goal. Coyle unable to hold for Minnesota. He hustles back with Lowry on the attack for Winnipeg. Lowry drops it back. Halachuk to Lowry. Back to Halachuk for a shot. Now Perreault fires, and Kemper got a pad on it. Foster for Minnesota. Off the glass to the line. Clipsam able to hold. Foster back to pick it up. He's hit by Perreault as he plays it around for Scandella. Back to Prosser. Clipsam holds. Clipsam in for the Jets. Tried to center. Perreault was there. Winds up on the far boards. Niederreiter unable to clear. Now Perreault in the circle. Watched by Prosser. Spins it back to the point. Harrison a shot. Kemper steers that to the corner. Coyle floats it out for Minnesota. The Wild trying to get a change. Clipsam back to pick it up for the Jets. Only one man got off for Minnesota. And now we get a whistle. The Wild, fortunately, will be able to get a change now racing against the Jets.
It was the right guy, though, because Carter was the one that was out there left from the previous shift, so he really needed an oxygen tank as he was running around out there. And the Wild finally got the line change, but now they make a wholesale change here with that whistle.
Grayevac beaten on the draw. Harrison to Perreault. Plays it out to neutral ice. Suter hustling back for Minnesota. Pressured by Scheifele. He got it to Grayevac, who chips it off the boards for Cook. Cook hit by Perreault as he dumps it in. Grayevac delivers a hit behind the net. Suter steps up to hold the zone for Minnesota. Try to hold off for a leak on the play. Loose puck squirts across to Perreault. Perreault fires, and it was blocked by Spurgeon. Vanek plays it up the boards. Perreault easily intercepts for the Jets. Trying to fight through a Spurgeon check. Now Scheifele with it. Scheifele to the point for Byfuglien. Bufflin just did hold the zone before Grayovac could clear. Vanek tries to headbutt it out to neutral ice. He does, and now it's Vanek in for Minnesota. Across for Cook. He has to wait for the carom off the wall. Vanek tried to sneak one through for Suter. That hit a skate. Nice play by Scheifele defensively for the Jets. Koivu hustles there with Peluso. Now Prosser plays it back in for Minnesota. Bufflin rings it around, and Peluso relays it out to center ice. Gagliardi plays it into the Minnesota zone. Bumped off the puck by Bickle. That allows the captain Mikko Koivu to play it. Pominville across for Parise. Bufflin steps up, got a stick on it, but now Koivu has it. Koivu in for Minnesota. Koivu into the circle, a shot saved by Hutchinson, and Parise was tied up on the rebound. Jets start back with Wheeler. Wheeler into the Minnesota zone. Wheeler tried to work around Scandella. Pominville takes it away. Parise leaves it for Koivu. Koivu in with speed for the Wild. Koivu fires again, and it's deflected wide by Hutchinson. Bolin has it. Plays down low for Pominville. Pominville looking for Parise. Holds the puck, now centers. Koivu's tied up and couldn't redirect. Pominville plays it just out of the reach of Koivu. He sweeps it in behind for Parise. Centers, and Pominville is stopped by Hutchinson. Rebound popped high in the air. Wheeler knocks it down. Koivu has it centered, and it was cleared away by Bufflin. Another good shift for Parise, Pominville, and Koivu. Little for Wheeler. He fires, and it deflects into the netting and out of play. We're past the halfway point of the second period. 2-1 Jets. Thomas Vanek has been rolling lately for Minnesota, 7 points in his last 8 games. But most important is when he's been scoring. He has 6 goals this year. 4 of them have been game-tying goals in the third period, including Saturday night against the Jets in St. Paul. In 2 of those games, he went on to assist on the game winner. The other 2, Minnesota lost in overtime. But without those tying goals, you're talking about 6 fewer points in the standings.
You know, you got a guy that has the ability to make clutch shots when he has to at important times of the game, and one of the reasons the Wild acquired him is for that ability. You want to see other parts of his game improve too, but it's good to see that part step up.
Halachuk centers. Puck rolls free in the high slot. Jets able to hold. Thorburn couldn't collect the puck in the corner. Scandella double teamed there. Pushes it up the board. Sutter back to Scandella. He and Thorburn continue their battle. And finally the Wild come away with it. Carter for Sutter. Sutter to center ice. Into the Winnipeg zone. Brodziak in on the forecheck. He takes Party into the boards. Postma's there for Winnipeg. Up the wall but not out. Fontaine to Brodziak. Brodziak couldn't find the handle cleanly. Leaves it for Sutter. Sutter fell but back on his feet still with the puck. Brodziak in the circle. Couldn't get a shot away. Sutter trying to escape Thorburn along the boards as it knocked away by Lowry. Fontaine's there to support. Fontaine spins away. Fontaine circles the net, waits for support. Now to the point for Spurgeon. Spurgeon waits, fires. His shot was blocked. Then plays it across for Suter. Suter's long shot deflects wide. Cook withstanding a battle there from Postma. Got it to Grayovac in the corner. Grayovac trying to protect the puck, but unable to do so, and Halachuk clears for Winnipeg. This will be icing, however, against the Jets.
A lot better zone time here in this part of the period for the Minnesota Wild. It took them a while to get that first shot, and that first shot was the goal that they scored. And after that, they've been able to press the puck into the offensive zone a little bit better. The Wild coming back now with that Coyle, Niederreiter, and Vanek line. And, you know, you're talking about Vanek. His game elevated when he got up on that line with Zach Parise. And that kind of got him going. And now when he's placed on a different line, he looks like he's had some good opportunities in this game as well. He has 3 shots. And he's drawn a penalty in this game, and hoping that that line can add some spark here.
Jets have taken their timeout after this icing call. Coming up tonight on Fox Sports Live, it's Black Monday in the NFL. 4 coaches are gone. Are more on the way. Our insider has what you need to know. Regular season is done. Who's the MVP? Randy Moss and Donovan McNabb will tell you who they choose and more. Highlights from the NBA, NHL, and college basketball. Fox Sports Live tonight on Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. After the icing call, even with a timeout, the Jets still not able to change. But Lowry wins the faceoff from Charlie Coyle. Halachuk plays it out to center. Coyle trying to get the Wild back in before the Jets can change. Niederreiter deflects it in on goal, and Hutchinson will just cover. This will allow the Jets to swap their remaining skaters.
Well, the Winnipeg Jets were hopeful that their goaltending would be good this year. They've gotten a lot more than that. Pavlik has played well as well, and one thing that their head coach Paul Maurice said this morning was that he will get back in the net. This isn't going to be a string where Hutchinson plays a large amount of games and you wait for him to falter and then you put the guy who's been sitting on the bench back in. He said they're going to rotate these guys on a consistent basis as their opponents dictate. Right now, 3 in a row for Hutchinson, but both goaltenders have played well, and it's given this team a very good posture here, only losing 1 in regulation over their last 14 games.
Ladd plays it all the way down. It'll be icing again against the Jets. Well, they've been scoring over that stretch too. We mentioned it earlier, 9-1-4. Only the Blackhawks better. Only Toronto has scored more goals per game than the Jets over that stretch. It's a stretch that goes all the way back to November 25th, so better than a month. Wheeler carries it out to neutral ice for the Jets, across to Byfuglien. Loose puck scooped up by Spurgeon. His pass too far for Parise. Sherratt back to pick it up for the Jets. He's spun around by Pominville. Parise tried to keep the play alive, but Wheeler finds Little, and the Jets come back to neutral ice. Ladd flips it in. Suter has it for Minnesota. Ladd and Prosser collide along the wall behind the play. Harrison pressured by Sutter. Jets have been much more efficient leaving their zone here in the second period. Minnesota's forecheck was able to pin them in a few times during the first. Wild had 14 shots in the first period, just 5 so far here in the second. Prosser turns it over, gives it to Frolik. Frolik dumps it in for Winnipeg. Bickell back to pick it up for Minnesota. Prosser hammered by Scheifele on the play. Perreault out front, knocked away by Bickell, and Sutter wraps it off the wall and out to neutral ice. And Bickell barking at Scheifele.
Prosser just had not got the puck on his tape and turned his head up ice in time. He was right on him, and he unloaded on him.
Jets are offside here as Perreault plays it. We get the whistle. Wild trailing in Winnipeg, 2-1. 2-1 in favor of Winnipeg late second period here at the MTS Center. Our Bud Light What's on Tap. Wild in the midst of this stretch. We've talked about it before. 7 out of 13 games against 3 of the teams in front of them in the standings. Chicago, Nashville, Winnipeg. The next 4 are the exception to that. They're in Columbus on New Year's Eve, then home. Face the Maple Leafs. It's a back-to-back with Dallas the next night in Dallas before they come back to face San Jose. This 13-game stretch included 3 games against the Hawks, 2 each against Nashville and Winnipeg. Other games included in there, obviously, but so far Minnesota is 0-2-3 in the first 5 games of that 13-game period.
Well, the Wild have had opportunities in this game. This period, though, they've not generated the kind of offense that they did in the first period. It's like the Winnipeg Jets are able to take at least zone time away from them.
Halachuk trying to escape Poland. Works his way up the boards, then goes back to Thorburn. Taken away by Poland, and Fontaine has it for Minnesota. Looking cross ice for Scandella. It was intercepted by Thorburn, but we get a whistle and a tripping call coming against the Jets. Minnesota will go on the power play.
Winnipeg to a strip.
Halachuk with a trip. Watch right there as the skates go out from Graovac. That's why Thorburn was so wide open to just grab this loose puck and try and go back into the zone. So the Wild, who had some good opportunities on the power play, still have yet to put one home with the man advantage.
Wild power play. 5 shots on goal so far tonight. Koivu with it up high. Parise tries to center, and Pominville is stopped by Hutchinson.
That one actually went off the skate of the defender right into the equipment of Hutchinson. Parise almost got credit for that one, just trying to slide it across the crease.
Minnesota's power play continues to improve over the course of this season. Got off to a really slow start. Just 2 power play goals in their first 14, but 8th best in the NHL since that time over the last 19. 4 power play goals in their last 3 games. Koivu plays down low. Parise tried to center. It was deflected. Koivu able to keep the play alive. And now it's Vanek around to the far side. Pominville hustles in from the point. Ladd went down. Party's on the puck, but Koivu takes it away. Tried to center. Byfuglien got a piece of it. Good pressure by the Jets, but the Wild so far have been able to hold the zone. Parise delivers a hit on Party. Plays down low for Vanek. Vanek centered, and it's off the skate of Koivu and deflects all the way back down. Little works his way in against Suter. Little walks out front, and is kicked out by Kemper. Remember, the Jets scored a shorthanded goal Saturday night in St. Paul, their 6th of the year, which leads the NHL. Pominville played it back up against the boards. Nobody home for the Wild. And Suter will have to come back after it. We'll get our first look at the second power play unit tonight for Minnesota. Halfway through this man advantage. Coyle, Niederreiter, Fontaine up front for the Wild. Spurgeon at the points. And Suter will hustle off. He's replaced by Scandella. Niederreiter for Coyle. Out to the point, Scandella. Scandella back to Coyle. Coyle down low, Fontaine. Fontaine trying to center. It's knocked away by Clipsum and cleared by Harrison. Jets change their killers with Scandella setting up behind the net. 22 in the power play as he starts ahead. Charlie Coyle from neutral ice plays it in. Hutchinson leaves it behind the net. He's harassed there by Niederreiter. Niederreiter unable to come away with the puck, and the Jets get another clear. Down to 5 seconds in the Wild power play.
Very aggressive penalty kill by the Jets. The minute the Wild bobble that puck, they are on.
Sutter centers. Fontaine scores! Just after the power play expires, the Wild tie the game.
Great feed by Sutter as he finds a streaking Fontaine down the other side of the ice. Watch this play as the Wild move it up the ice, and Fontaine makes a little drop pass, and then he uses the ice that he can find on the other side and just outlegs the defender to the net.
How about Brett Sutter, brought up here to deliver some physical play and be an energy player. 2 assists tonight, his first career multi-point game in the NHL, and now 3 assists in 3 games with the Wild. That line just put together by Mike Yeo tonight. Fontaine's game seemed to get better and better against the Jets as it progressed on Saturday, to the point where Mike Yeo gave him some opportunities on the power play late in that game. And here tonight, even though it's not a power play goal, it ties it for the Wild.
Well, Fontaine using the tools that make him a good hockey player. Right there was a good heads up and a lot of speed, jumping into that hole and outlegging his defender, giving himself an opportunity to get that pass. He had a couple of opportunities in this game a little bit earlier, and he finally connects on this one.
The goal scorer has been his whole career. Graovac to Folin. A shot, save Hutchinson, and the rebound swept wide by Cook. Fontaine had 13 goals a year ago for Minnesota, now 3 this season. Good pressure by the Graovac Fontaine-Cook line here for Minnesota. Blitzham plays ahead for Lowry. Hit by Cook as he dumps it in. 2.5 to go in the second period. Wild and Jets even at 2. Suter spins away from a hit. Koivu forces the puck up the boards. Wheeler holds for Winnipeg. Mitchell went down. He's slow to his feet. There's a 4-player tie-up. Takes place behind the goal. Byfuglien drops it back for Ladd. He just did sidestep Parise, then fires, and a pad save by Kemper. Very close to a breakaway chance for Parise. Parise tried to play it back. It's tipped by Wheeler. Onside at the line. Wheeler's in, and a save by Kemper. It deflects up and out of play.
Well, have to be careful when a guy like Wheeler's on the ice. He's a big guy, but he possesses plenty of speed. Right there, was able to get a turnover and a good opportunity. And Darcy Kemper was very aggressive coming out on that one. Wild using their depth here to get back in this hockey game. Goal by Carter, goal by Fontaine.
Tipped out to center by Niederreiter. Flips him back to play it for the Jets. Scheifele is there for Winnipeg. Across to Harrison. And Frolik deflects it to the Minnesota line. Coyle settles the loose puck. Got it ahead to Spurgeon. Spurgeon works his way in. He fires, and a glove save by Hutchinson.
And Niederreiter lurking around the front of that net where he needs to continue to be good. Niederreiter's fallen off his game a little bit in the last few. Joe wants to see more details to his game get better. He's been putting the puck in the net, but there's other parts of the game that he wants to see Niederreiter be good at. And that's mostly in the neutral zone in his own end.
Spurgeon across for Suter. Suter banks it off the end boards. Brodziak keeps it down low for Minnesota. Carter trying to fight under a check from Harrison. Sutter fires from the boards. Spurgeon settles the puck and whistles one on goal, held by Hutchinson. Our Window Concepts game reset. Jets had extended the lead to 2-0 early in the second, but Minnesota has answered on goals by Carter and Fontaine, each assisted by Brett Sutter.
Well, the Wild's top 6 have had plenty of great opportunities without much success. It's great to see that the depth of the lineup is coming through here with a couple of big goals in this period.
Sherratt could not clear. Brodziak holds. Suter pinches, fires, and a pad save by Hutchinson. Suter plays it across to Spurgeon. Final minute of the period. Sherratt back to pick it up for Winnipeg. Brodziak along the boards. Takes a hit from Byfuglien. Sherratt is there to pick it up for the Jets. Floats it out to center. Wheeler waiting for it to come down. Little overskates the puck, but now hammers it into the Minnesota zone. Spurgeon picks it up. His clearing attempt winds up all the way down to the Winnipeg zone, and Sherratt back to play it. Dustin Byfuglien plays it ahead to Frolik, who scored the first goal of tonight's game. Frolik fires. That's wide. Kemper doesn't like the rebound coming off the end wall, and he covers it up.
Darcy Kemper looking solid in this game. Not much he could have done on that second goal scored by the Jets. The Wild have responded in kind by keeping the puck in the offensive zone most of the latter parts of this second period. This period saw a lot of power plays. Second period, and not so much. Even though the Wild used the power play to generate their opportunity to tie this hockey game.
Pominville fires it across and finds Parise in stride. Parise spins, drops it back. Scandella scores!
We've seen Marco Scandella unload on shots before, and this, oh my goodness, what a blast. Hard to tell if Hutchinson was screened. It would have only been his own players that got in the way, because this was essentially a line rush as Zach Parise does a button hook, and he just finds this right here. It goes between two defenders with no one else in line to the net, and Hutchinson just didn't see this. What a shot by Scandella.
Scandella for Minnesota with his 9th goal of the year. He is quickly becoming one of the elite goal scorers among defensemen in the NHL.
He got the benefit of a deflection off an ankle. And so Scandella didn't put it home straight, but it still counts as he panks one in off of one of the defenders. 2 guys were screening. 1 was in front of the net. He used the 2 up top as a screen and deflects it off the defender in front of the net past Hutchinson to give the Wild the lead. A good period here for the Wild.
We'll head back to the Mall of America studio here from Ben Clymer and Jamie Hirsch. And up next, Kevin Gorg will visit with the man who scored the tying goal for Minnesota, Justin Fontaine. 3-2 Wild after 2. Minnesota with 3 in a row to take a 3-2 lead over the Jets. The third was scored by Marco Scandella, the suddenly high-scoring defenseman for the Wild. You know a hockey mom who deserves to be recognized for her efforts? The Minnesota Wild and Schwann's Cares presents the Hockey Mom Hall of Fame. Nominate a deserving hockey mom today at wild.com/hockeymom. The goal by Scandella is 9th of the year in 30 games this season. That's 0.3 goals per game. That's number 1 among all NHL defensemen. Just slightly better rate than Erik Johnson in Colorado. Maybe most amazing is that when you keep in mind that Scandella came into this season with 6 goals scored.
We keep talking about the fact that he changed a lot about his shot. He changed the equipment he's using. He's got a different stick, different pattern, everything. He went back to school on it. He takes a different type of shot. There's a lot of details about the way he shoots the puck now and with the stick he's using that really made a difference for him. And, he's reaping the benefits of going to school on the game itself. Great to see.
Wheeler flips a backhander over the top of the net. Parise there for Minnesota. Koivu takes a hit along the wall. Wheeler drops it back for Byfuglien. Across to Sherratt. Sherratt with a long shot off the end glass. Byfuglien able to pinch and hold before Parise could get to the puck. Little in the corner for the Jets. Hands it off to Wheeler. Wheeler fires, saved by Kemper. Wheeler recovers the puck. Has it along the boards, but he's tied up by Spurgeon. Got it to the point for Sherratt, and his shot went just wide.
Very fortunate there. That went off the shin pad of Suter and almost into the corner of the net.
Wild get a clear. Not surprising to see the Jets come out with a little push here in the opening minute of the third period. Teams have played twice this year, both times in St. Paul, both times went to overtime. Scandella won the first one for Minnesota. Ladd won the second for Winnipeg. Vanek to Niederreiter. Niederreiter's in, a shot, and it's high and wide. Scheifele played it back out to center. Vanek there for Minnesota. Niederreiter able to get it into the Winnipeg zone, but only for a moment. Now Coyle spins back in. Coyle forced to the outside by Scheifele. Niederreiter centered for Vanek, but he had backpedaled away from the slot. And Perreault has it. Plays across for Harrison. Harrison to Frolik at the Minnesota line. Relayed in where Kemper will leave it for Christian Folin. Folin carries ahead for the Wild. Drops it back to Scandella. His pass was not tipped by Cook at the line, so it'll be icing against the Wild.
We'll see how the Wild take on this period. They've seen very different periods in the first and second, but have been competitive in both, without question. See how the Wild roll their lines and try and use their entire lineup here.
Wild win the draw. Scandella floats it out to center. Fontaine has it there for Minnesota. Fontaine's first man on the loose puck along the wall. Rayovac there to support the play, but it's the Jets that come away with it. Thorburn plays it across. Prosser back to pick it up for the Wild. Nate Prosser circles the net. Got it to Bickell. Bickle knocked down on the play, but manages to clear the zone. Postma back, pressured by Cook. Cook rides him into the boards. Postma able to play it ahead for Lowry. Lowry comes to center into the Minnesota zone. Bickle back after it for Minnesota. He takes another hit, this time from Lowry. Sutter couldn't get it out of the zone. Klitzum holds. Peluso hit by Prosser. Prosser takes him down in the corner. Gagliardi around to Harrison. Harrison back into the corner. Peluso. Peluso pinned up against the boards by Brodziak. Got it to the point for Harrison. It's tipped away by Fontaine, and this forces the Jets offside. All rights to tonight's broadcast are reserved. Any rebroadcast, recording, retransmission, telecommunication to the public, or other unauthorized use of this broadcast without the express written permission of the Minnesota Wild is prohibited. Koivu against Little on the draw. The Jets have had the upper hand on the faceoff circle so far tonight. They're +3. Speaking of +3, Christian Folin, who flips it to center, is also a +3. He's been on the ice for all 3 Minnesota goals tonight.
Well, this line has had a bevy of chances in this hockey game. That kind of pressure eventually will pay off. Pominville's game has elevated here for sure over the last little while, and we remember showing you the kind of goals that he was scoring. They were banking off legs and sticks and all kinds of things, but he stuck with it. Scored a really nice goal last game on a shot below the faceoff dot. This game has definitely gotten better here.
The assist tonight gives him 18 points in his last 18 games. Little to the point for Byfuglien. Byfuglien finds Wheeler in the corner. Wheeler tied up by Scandella. Centering pass for Little was deflected. Byfuglien holds. Plays it right back down low. Scandella has been involved in about 8 scrums along the wall tonight. This time he plays it off the glass, and it's out of play.
He shows such strength down low along the wall there, where you have to be able to take a hit and spin off guys and control the puck all at the same time. And Scandella's game has really grown a lot coming into this year. He stepped up and has been a solid contributor in the top 4. And we talked a lot about his shot, but it's the other parts of his game that are great as well. He defends very well. He's obviously got a lot of speed and strength.
Hardy carries to the middle. A shot. Pad save. Kemper. Rebounded. Scheifele was stopped. Kemper's had to make a handful of really good saves tonight for Minnesota. Suter knocks Perreault to the ice. Scheifele escapes Brodziak. Centers, and Frolik was tied up by Spurgeon. Minnesota has a 4-on-2 if they hustle. Sutter with Scheifele catching up with the play. And Sutter has it knocked off of his stick. Perreault plays it across. Skips by Postma. Postma then relays it into the Minnesota zone and heads off. Suter gives to Spurgeon. Spurgeon's double teamed along the boards. Bannock could not clear. Loose puck is protected by Spurgeon. Coyle trying to get it by Harrison. Perreault is down behind the play after he and Spurgeon collided. Coyle lost it there to Halishuk. Halishuk plays it around to the far side. Puts him back down low. Halishuk is there. Tries to force one in, and Kemper has his pad down and makes the save for Minnesota.
The old Billy Smith poke check there as he swept it around the side of the net. Unfortunately missed it, but he did have his pad laid down across that goal. And so Kemper has come up, as you said, with a few very good saves here, especially on that sequence before this whistle. A couple of scrambling saves where he had to make a couple desperation pad saves, but continues to hold his team into it. This is a good learning process for Darcy Kuemper. Be in this situation on the road, up a goal, third period. This is where he needs to continue to play well.
Slater against Brodziak on this defensive zone draw. Slater wins it cleanly back to Harrison. Harrison banks it off the end boards. Peluso hammers Prosser. Peluso maintains his footing, plays down low. Gagliardi knocked down from behind by Brodziak. Hutchinson out to play it, nearly turned it over. His clearing attempt was deflected by Cook.
Remember last game, he had a few gaps that almost cost his team too, so I'm sure they get a little nervous every time Hutchinson steps out of his net to play the puck. A lot of good parts to his game, but sometimes the decision making when you play in the puck is probably one of the last things that really you get good at in the National Hockey League as a goaltender.
Wheeler has it stripped by Pominville. Parise fire saved by Hutchinson. Sherratt in the corner. Plays it ahead, and it's relayed out by Ladd. Spurgeon whips it across for Suter. Suter headmans for Parise, but he couldn't handle it cleanly. Wheeler then hit by Parise. Little trying to spin free from Suter, and it's Mikko Koivu to pick up the loose puck for the Wild. Pominville banks it off the boards and down into Winnipeg territory. Byfuglien to Wheeler, who winds and blasts one in. Kemper gloves and drops, leaves it for Spurgeon. Spurgeon carries out for Minnesota. Long pass from Suter to Vanek. He couldn't catch it cleanly, but does deflect. That negates icing. Bickell holds the zone for the Wild. Vanek tried to center, Niederreiter, and Hutchinson denies him.
Well, that's the Niederreiter that we're used to seeing, a guy that's paying the price going right to the net, and he almost got the Wild up by 2.
Hutchinson stops Niederreiter, still 3-2 Wild. To get caught up, it was 1-0 Winnipeg after 1. Second period saw some fireworks. Perreault scores on the power play 20 seconds in. And then Sutter finds Ryan Carter. Carter scores to make it 2-1. Later in the period, Sutter with another assist, this time to Justin Fontaine. That tied the game, and then moments later, Marco Scandella. With 12 seconds left in the period, with his 9th goal of the year. And Minnesota has a 3-2 lead. Early here in the third period, Vanek trying to catch up with a puck behind the net. He's knocked down by Klitzum. Coyle intercepts a clearing attempt. Plays it back safely to Marco Scandella. Quickly across to Folin. Scandella steps up. Feeds Vanek, who relays it in. For the Wild tonight, without Mikael Granlund, without Jonas Brodin, without Jason Zucker, without Nick Backstrom. Ladd lost it at the Minnesota line. Folin across to Scandella. Tyler Graovac making his NHL debut tonight for Minnesota. Sutter playing in just his 3rd game with the Wild this year. Frolik trying to enter the zone. The puck got caught in the linesman's skates. That helps the Wild. Now Party brings it in. A long shot. Kicked to the corner by Kemper. Scheifele trying to win a battle against the end boards. Pushes it out to the point. Postma across to Party. And his shot deflects up and into the netting, out of play. Celebrate the state of hockey as Wells Fargo and Fox Sports North present the 9th annual Hockey Day Minnesota. January 17th, the puck will drop on the tarmac at St. Paul's Holman Field, and you can be part of the action. Tickets are on sale now. Check out foxsportsnorth.com. Click on the upcoming events on the Hot Topics bar. We are less than 3 weeks away from Hockey Day, Minnesota. Could be a great day of hockey in St. Paul. A couple of really good high school matchups. Bill Murray St. Thomas Academy, the marquee event. Laverne in the state tournament a year ago. We'll do battle with St. Paul Johnson. Should be fun. College hockey, and of course the Minnesota Wild will cap things off. Here's Party. Plays it ahead at center. Carter shoves it back into his own zone. Wild host Arizona that night. One of the best days of the year for a hockey fan. Hutchinson leaves it behind the net. Sherratt tied up there by Byfuglien. Halishuk tried to get it out of the zone. Prosser held for a moment. Now it's Halishuk with it at the Minnesota line. Bickell double teamed in the corner. Alishuk out to the point. Buffalo a long shot. Got through. Save Kemper. And then he makes a big stop on Ladd on the rebound.
Had to be very aware there of where the puck was after that first shot by Byfuglien. It had a bad bounce right back out into the slot. He was able to close everything down very quickly and freeze that puck. He's kept pucks out in front of him all game long, which is better than having to search around off to the side or in behind you. Leaning forward a lot on these shots. The first shot is a big shot by Byfuglien, and he's not afraid to unload on these. Fortuitous bounce there, and a good save by the Kemper.
Byfuglien trying to work his way up the boards. He's tied up by Scandella. Graovac plays it out to center ice. Ladd back in for the Jets. Fires just wide. Byfuglien holds. Folin plays to the wall, but Wheeler has it. His shot deflected by Scandella. Scandella plays it up the boards, and Fontaine able to chip it past Sherratt all the way down into the Winnipeg zone. Byfuglien back to pick it up. Byfuglien leads all skaters with 13 shot attempts in tonight's game. Has 4 shots on goal. Lost his stick here. Still delivers a heavy hit on Niederreiter. Now he'll head to the bench. Sherratt with it in the corner. Slater kicks it out to center. Suter quickly turns it back for Charlie Coyle. And the Wild are offside. Let's check in with Kevin Gorg.
Yeah, guys, talking to Bob Mason, the goaltending coach of the Minnesota Wild, about Darcy Kemper. He said, number one, he's got to get healthy and play for a stretch of games. And to do that, he's got to get back in the net and have a stabilizing start. A good start that he can feel good about, gain some confidence, and build from there. And, guys, so far, this looks like that kind of start. We're seeing Darcy Kemper play the way we saw him last year, with exuding confidence that seems to be carrying over to this hockey team. We'll see if he can close it up here now in the final 10 and a half.
Yeah, a lot of times those happen on the road, too. A little bit less pressure to perform for someone. He's playing hockey and concentrating on the game, and so far he's had a good one so far.
Centering pass intercepted by Brodziak, who plays it out to neutral ice. Gagliardi relays it in for the Jets. Winnipeg changes as Bickle goes back to pick it up for Minnesota. And Kemper throughout this season has had some good success away from home. Here he has to make another stop on a quick shot by Perreault. Darcy Kemper. A couple of big saves in the third, and the Wild lead by 1. Wild lead 3-2. Darcy Kemper's made 24 saves on 26 shots throughout this season. You were talking about it earlier. Sometimes it's easier to find your game on the road. His numbers have been better away from home.
Yeah, and obviously some of his home numbers aren't good because of the quick pulls he's had in a few of the games at home, and so that doesn't help the goals against very much, or the save percentage, when you don't get to complete the game. But nevertheless, it's good to see him finding his game. These things don't work on a switch. You have to continue to push forward and have that come around over a course of time, and Wild need that course of time to be as quick as possible.
Koivu plays it ahead for Pominville, across to Parise. Parise wraps it in for the Wild. Sherratt tied up by Koivu. Pominville fires from the boards. Parise fell trying to catch up with a loose puck, and Frolik starts it back for the Jets. Cup winner in Chicago. Frolik bounces it into the Minnesota zone. Spurgeon back to play it. Pominville sneaks one through for Koivu. Koivu comes to center, tried to get it by Harrison. Niederreiter is in just a hair early and offside.
I think another one going off a linesman. So a lot of pucks off linesmen and refs. I think that slowed the puck down enough so that Niederreiter was in offside. Smart plays from this point on. Had a pretty solid third period, although a couple of miscues required Darcy Kemper to come up with quick saves, but a lot of smart plays here by the Wild. Good neutral zone and get the puck deep. A lot of those cliches really come to light at this time of a hockey game.
Jets come away with the puck. Little's playing without a stick. And Minnesota's able to recover. Folin tries to bank one ahead for Coyle. Icing waved off. Harrison could have played the puck. Little leaves it for Harrison behind the net. Watched by Niederreiter as he sweeps it around behind his own goal. Splits him ahead at center. Scandella back to pick it up for the Wild. Christian Folin lugs it forward. Blasts one in on goal, and it's held by Hutchinson with Graovac nearby.
Well, Graovac had a decent game. I mean, it's when you get into your first National Hockey League game, you're trying to find the speed of the game initially. He hasn't looked grossly out of place, but his game, if he's able to continue over the course of time with a few more games, maybe he'll get more and more acclimated to the type of game that he has to play here in the National Hockey League.
Fontaine races ahead for Minnesota. Has Graovac with him. Drops it to the slot. Fontaine recovers the puck, but he was tied up and didn't get much on it. Cook in the corner. Bumped by Postma. Comes around to the near side. Graovac plays back down low for Cook. Cook to the point for Bickle. Bickle's shot got through. Saved by Hutchinson. And he covers just before Fontaine could punch it into the empty net.
Yeah, and Graovac was there too. He was looking and hoping that puck rolled out of Hutchinson's gear because it would have dropped right in his wheelhouse, and just was unable to get that good fortune. I think it caught Hutchinson, rolled off of one of the defenders, and went right back into Hutchinson. As the Wild need to continue to do this, just get pucks to the net. Bickle, good shot there, and you see it just bouncing around bodies in front of the net. Always learning, and one thing you should do is be in constant conversation with the guys that have been here.
Sutter plays it back down low for Carter. Klitzen playing without a stick. Carter to the point for Folin. Quickly across to Scandella. Back down low, Sutter. 2 assists tonight for Sutter. First NHL multi-point game. Klitzen to center. Ahead to Scheifele. Scheifele, who came into this head-to-head on a scoring streak, but has been blanked in both games so far against the Wild. Brodziak carries to center. Same for his line mate Perreault. Had the hottest streak in the NHL coming into this series, but that was snapped Saturday night in St. Paul.
But he does have a nice one here in this game.
Ladd into the Minnesota zone. Pominville across to Parise. Parise works his way in. Shoved out of the zone by Byfuglien. Physical play by the Jets defender. Pominville brings it in for the Wild. Takes a hit along the wall, but manages to get the puck into the corner. Parise to Koivu. Now Pominville in the circle, a shot. That was blocked. Pominville settles it down. Back out to Suter. Suter fires on goal. Saved by Hutchinson. Parise tied up and could not get to the rebound. Boy, the puck battles with these two lines going head-to-head have been impressive. Wheeler fires and a save by Kemper. You watch the likes of Ladd, Little, and Wheeler going up against Parise, Koivu, Pominville. There have been some very impressive physical contests in this game.
Yeah, some of these contests are also with big Dustin Byfuglien, and those forwards, I mean, trying to move him around or just trying to gain some space around a guy like Dustin Byfuglien is not easy. Well, that will wear you down, the kind of battles that we've seen in this game.
Scandella to Vanek. His pass just off the mark, intended for Charlie Coyle. Lowry plays it in behind. Thorburn for Winnipeg. Dumps it into the Wild zone. Scandella back. He's pressured by Halishuk. Vanek to Coyle, who tips it off the boards and out to the point. Postma holds for Winnipeg. A long shot tipped by Thorburn and just wide. Scandella for Niederreiter. Niederreiter unable to clear the zone. Christian Folin catches up with a loose puck for Minnesota. Tried to thread one through for Vanek. That was intercepted, but a good battle by Folin to recover the puck. Vanek has it for Minnesota and slides it deep into the Winnipeg zone. Wild will change. Jets very patient in their own zone. Harrison now hands it off to Party. Ahead to Frolik. Frolik sends Scheifele into the Minnesota zone. Scheifele trying to escape Fontaine. Drops it back. Harrison a shot. Pad save Kemper. Fontaine across to Matt Cook. And Cook flips it into the Winnipeg zone. He's hit by Klitzen. Fontaine in on the forecheck. Cook joins the battle, but the Jets have the puck. Harrison reaches center and fires it in. Suter plays it around for Spurgeon. Spurgeon's long pass was tipped by Wheeler, and now Little. Little has it knocked away by Brodziak. Sutter there to support for Minnesota. Carter breaks for the net. Sutter's shot was blocked. His second attempt hit Byfuglien, and then Byfuglien rides Sutter hard into the boards. Cross-ice pass picked up by Ladd. He dumps it into the Minnesota zone. Suter back to play it for the Wild. His clearing attempt intercepted by Wheeler. Back for Byfuglien. Byfuglien to Sherratt. Sherratt plays it off the end boards. Wheeler fires from the wall. Tipped by Suter. Out to the point, Sherratt. Sherratt looks for a lane. His shot hit traffic out front. Suter's there for Minnesota, and he rings it all the way around and out. Wild will get a much-needed change as Byfuglien regroups for the Jets. Sherratt ahead for Lowry at center. Lowry from just outside the Minnesota line. Kemper gloves and drops. Plays it ahead himself, but it skips all the way down. Parise back. Harrison there for the Jets. Pominville for Minnesota. Got it to Parise. Parise out to the point for Folin. Folin looking. Fires. Tipped by Koivu. Saved by Hutchinson. Folin into the corner for Minnesota. Koivu takes his spot at the point. Folin plays down low. Parise along the end wall. Puts him there for the Jets. Lowry able to work his way out of traffic. Gets it ahead to Halischuk. Halischuk at the Minnesota line. Kemper turns it back. A couple of good clears by the Minnesota goaltender.
Yeah, one of them he used the stanchions very well, or got a good break off a stanchion for a change. This one he just came out aggressively and fired it to center ice.
Coyle across to Spurgeon. Spurgeon for Minnesota reaches center and fires it in. Byfuglien around to Sherratt. Long stretch without a whistle.
Wilder making some smart plays, though, getting that puck all the way back so the defenders have to go and turn to go get it. That makes Winnipeg have to skate 200 feet to get it into the offensive zone.
Crowd wanted a penalty there. They don't get it. Perreault with the puck. He tried to center and Spurgeon got a stick on it. 2:15 to go. Perreault for Minnesota. Around to Vanek. Vanek flips it out of the zone. Niederreiter tips it at center. He was dumped with no call. Sherratt back in. Fakes the shot. Forced to the outside by Spurgeon. Sherratt tried to center. Brodziak got a stick on it. Byfuglien holds for the Jets. Poked away by Vanek. A shot got through. Saved by Kemper. And he denies Byfuglien on the rebound.
Oh, a glorious save here by Darcy Kemper with the glove. This one bounces off and right to the tape of Dustin Byfuglien. And a tremendous glove save by Kemper here, preserving that 1-goal lead.
4.5 minute stretch without a whistle, and Darcy Kemper with a couple of big plays, none bigger than this one.
Well, that puck was batted out of the air by Byfuglien, and Byfuglien was tasting that one, and it just flashes the glove, hangs onto it, and gets the first whistle in a little while. He is always a threat. Byfuglien, you mentioned earlier, had a lot of shot attempts, the most out of anybody in this game, and that attempt was probably his best effort.
Jets pull the goaltender. Hutchinson off. Extra skater for Winnipeg with 1:40 on the clock. Wild goal with Brodziak, Parise, Koivu up front. Mike Yeo wanted to have two centermen for certain. Koivu to the line. Byfuglien holds. And the puck deflects into the netting. And the faceoff will come outside the Minnesota zone.
Well, with a face-off here, we'll see if Paul Maurice isn't going to roll the dice. I was going to say, likely to see Hutchinson come back in because of the proximity of the face-off. But he will be very conscious of his team getting the puck into the offensive zone. All the way out to the hash marks.
Perreault draws against Koivu. Minnesota controls. Prosser across to Scandella. Scandella for Koivu. Parise relays it in for Minnesota. And that will force Hutchinson to remain in the game for at least another 15-20 seconds. Pominville against the end wall. Perreault carries forward. Hutchinson back to the bench. 68 seconds to go as Perreault fires it in. Kemper brings it around the glass and out for Minnesota. Another clear by the Wild goaltender. Final minute of the third period. Suter intercepts and chips it down for Minnesota. This will be icing against the Wild and a face-off in the Minnesota zone with 50.7 remaining.
Well, face-off win very big here. Wild can draw one, and Brodziak out there right now. The goaltender off again for the Winnipeg Jets. Dustin Byfuglien has a new weapon.
Brodziak, 6 wins, 8 losses on the face-off dot tonight. Jets have won 59% of the draws, a significant advantage, but this is a big win for Brodziak. Then Brodziak golfs the puck out of the zone. Scheifele has it for Winnipeg at center ice. 40 seconds left as he fires it in. Little to play it. Gets it behind the net for Ladd. Now Wheeler out to the point. Byfuglien. Byfuglien back to Wheeler. To Byfuglien. Wheeler down low. Little tried to center. Suter broke it up. Wheeler fires. Blocked by Spurgeon. Pominville flips it off the boards and down to the Winnipeg line. Cook pressures. 15 to go as Scheifele hustles back in. Scheifele centers, intercepted by Suter. He banks it off the glass and all the way down. It'll be icing against Minnesota, but only 4.7 seconds remain.
Yeah, I needed to get rid of the pressure, and even though it was an icing, it was a good play, knowing that the clock was quickly winding down. And what face-off is bigger than the last one? This one right here.
Brodziak against Little on the draw. They tie up. Brodziak flips it to the corner. Suter ties it up, and the Wild come from 2 goals down to beat the Jets in Winnipeg.
And what's even more significant, they win this one in regulation, denying the Jets an opportunity to get any points. This is only the second time in 15 games that the Jets have been beaten in regulation, and the Wild do it on the strength of some depth in their lineup. He's our temp star of the game as Sutter gets 2 assists. A big game for him, and a lot of the third and fourth liners, and Darcy Kemper held the fort, making some big saves in this one and increasing the confidence level of everybody.
And so in these 2 games against the Jets, the Wild take 3 points, the Jets 2, after the Wild win 3-2 tonight in Winnipeg. Wild Live, presented by CenturyLink, is coming up next. You'll hear from Mike Yeo in a moment.